Hey everyone, Tony Walsh here. Welcome back to the channel and another edition of what's happening on the farmstead. Well, still not much because this time change, I tell you, this is the first year that I'm fussing as much as I have about this time change, because now that we're living at the farmstead, I don't have time to do anything when I get home. But I did get some stuff done over last week, and so let's get turned around and see what it is, because you see I got some pecans loaded in the back of the truck. Well, here's the grapefruit to the right and the orange to the left. You can see about half the grapefruits are gone because Helene knocked a lot of them off, came loose, so they fell off too early, but they're now getting to where they're starting to taste like a grapefruit should taste like. So, and it is a cool 43 degrees this morning in South Georgia, so hopefully we'll get a real good cold snap and these things will really taste good. The oranges are so-so, they're not quite ready yet either. So, pecans, I'm sorry, I keep forgetting, I got to change my vernacular on that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5 bags there. 2 weeks ago when we sold, we got 70 cents a pound. It had 373 pounds, I think. So that's going to be give or take about what that is today, and I'll show you when I get to the buyers what the weight is. And Helene just knocked a lot of these nuts off the ground too early. Those that remained on the tree just didn't grow after that, but again, we don't water and fertilize these things like we should, or like we should have. They will be next year. So another thing that has happened, and this we was able to do at dark, and I have to thank mine and Jackie's nephew-in-law Joey for doing the brains and the brawn behind this work. If you remember, this shelter used to lean about 4 foot down in this corner. The post had rotted. So Joey, he's a nurse practitioner by trade, but he loves to do carpentry work, so that works out to our advantage in free help. I just got to feed him every now and then, and he eats like a horse. No, I'm just kidding. Joey doesn't. Joey's a great guy. Great addition to the family. But we have changed that post out, and when we got to jacking this up to change that post out, well, to change that short post there to this new post, this one here was rotted, so we changed that one, and we went to 6x6s because that's what we could get our hands on the easiest. They're pressure treated. So dug the holes. Well, we didn't have to dig the holes because the holes were already dug, just had to dig them out a little bit. Painted you can see the black paint at the bottom, so we painted the 4x4s. They are sitting on rock, and we used sackcrete around the post, so the majority of it is protected, but you see dirt here around the top of it. So we have that now fixed. You can see we've scabbed some wood, like to this one right here. This whole thing's rotten, so just scab some wood there to hold it for a little while. But I can now back my tractor under here without having to duck. So that's a few things that have happened this week. So let me get ready to show you one more clip. Well, we're back from town. That was 175 pounds. Actually, we kept 29 out to get cracked and blown to send to my mama. So we sold 175 pounds. The price was up to 80 cents a pound from what it was 2 weeks ago, so that's a good thing. But we still have plenty of nuts on the ground because, I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see them there in the leaves there, but there is still a lot to go. But at 80 cents a pound, I can't afford to pay anybody to come pick them up because they're going to take 50 or 60, and then the other 20 cents, that it's just not worth it. You can say something's better than nothing, but I'm not going to let somebody make all that profit, off of Nana's back. So we'll just keep suffering every evening and picking up what we can, and next year will hopefully be a different year, and we can have a better way to pick them up, grade them, sort them, and sell them at maybe a little bit higher price. So you can see here the cotton has been picked, and they picked it in a jiffy while I was at work, because you can see pink rolls and yellow rolls. That means they use 2 different cotton pickers. You know, John Deere just had yellow rolls, but they come out with pink 2 or 3 years back for breast cancer. So pink and yellow. It seemed like I have seen another color, maybe a light blue somewheres. But in that field there across the road, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rolls there. In this little field here, there's, you see them 2, there's one behind the tobacco barn, one on the other end down there, so there's 4. I'm thinking that 2 of these rolls out of these 4 in this field were to finish out rolls from over there, because there's no way that that field only has 5 and this has 4. That would be a ridiculous variation. So I'm almost going to say you might as well say 6 3/4 come from across the road, and 2 come from here. I could believe that better. Now, a lot of people will say that they sure leave a lot of cotton on these stalks, and some farmers do. You know, it's one of those, the slower you go, the cleaner you can pick it. The straighter your rows, the cleaner you can pick it. The sharper your spindles are, the cleaner you can pick it. So a lot of variations into it. You know, I'm one of those, just go slow. You know, even though this equipment's made to pick it 5 mile an hour, I'm a 3 mile an hour guy. I want every penny I can get. I hate leaving product in the field, but it's not mine. John was doing it, it was his. You know, every farmer can do what they want, but you can see right here, stuff is left, and that just, you know, that's, well, it's not worth the fuel and the time to turn around, you know, run your spindles, run your heads. But to me, I just hate to do it. But now, what I am surprised in, as much as this was laid over, that it picked as clean as it did. So, for the gentleman that's farming it, kudos to you, because your crew done an excellent job picking this field. Now, if you want to know some figures about cotton harvesting, you know, and these are generic, you know, they're not scientific, but you know, 1 bale of cotton, let me get up here closer to this one, that 1 bale of cotton can average 860 pair of blue jeans, 4,868 t-shirts, or 9,676 pair of underwear. 1 bale of cotton average can pay for seed and fertilizer depending on the size of the field. So this is, I don't know, these stats, I don't know what size field come from. 1 bale for crop protection products, 1 bale for equipment and interest, and then the rest is for the farmer. But you know, all that depends on what part of the country you're on, so not so much on that one. But the farmers are always coming out on the short end of the stick. You know, I told you that with the pecans a couple weeks ago, pecans a couple weeks ago, that I sold for 70 cents a pound, but you can go right on the market and they're costing you $8 a pound. Yeah, I know the buyer has some costs, and I know the seller has some costs, or the sheller has some costs, and then the retail seller has some costs. But the farmer is on the short end of the stick, and I meant to look this up before I made this video, because I think it was President John F. Kennedy said, the farmer is the only person that buys retail, pays for the transportation costs both ways, and then sells at wholesale. And that is true. You watch any farmer on YouTube and they'll say the same thing I'm saying. Everybody credits the farmer for growing the food for the country, but he doesn't get paid for it. The retailers, the processors, in the case of pecans, the shellers, they're the ones making the money. Okay, that is going to end this, what's happening on the farmstead this week. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Hope y'all have a blessed rest of this weekend and an even better week next week. Until we get back together, y'all take care and God bless.